Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. It's a bright and breezy September morning, and we got a bit of a treat for you today. Again, not one of our cars. We said to you that we'd try and film other people's cars, and we put a bit of a shout out to others out there in the Alfa community and the wider Abarths, other Fiats and other cars. If you want us to feature your car on the channel, please do. So thank you to Nathan Mahoney, who's brought up his beautiful Alfa Romeo GT. And we've filmed quite a bit of stuff on this, including an interview in the car with Pep, so we'll show that as well. But basically what we're going to do, we're going to hand over to Nathan, and he's going to tell us a story about his GT. You'll know he's also involved in the Alfa Romeo Owners Club as the GT Register, so he'll have a lot to say. But this car, when he pulled up next to ours earlier on, we were both, Pep and I were both a bit ashamed at the state of ours really, because his is absolutely beautiful. He's a detailer as well, so we'll go into a bit more detail about that a bit later on. But for now, let's hand over to Nathan and let him tell you all about this great car.
Hi, my name's Nathan. I'm the GT Registrar for the Alfa Romeo Owners Club, and this is my GT, also known as Bella. Everyone knows her as Bella. If you're familiar with the Facebook A-Rock page or Instagram or anything like that, it's Bella. She's famous. I post all of the goods and the bad about her. I'm not naive enough to think there's not any bad when owning a car like this, but it's mostly good, as my post will show. She's on 209,000 miles now. I get a lot of people saying she doesn't look it. She's held up very well. I like to think that she sort of displaces the theory of Alfas being unreliable and they'll just rot into the ground. I don't believe that at all, and I think Bella's proof of that. I've had her for 3.5 years now. I bought her from a I didn't buy her, but Mario bought her off the first owner, Ian, who I've met as well. I've met all 3 owners. We've actually had a group photo taken together at NAD, National Alpha Day, which was nice. Yeah, so I bought her off Mario 3.5 years ago. We service her ourselves. We've changed all the parts on her ourselves. The only place she goes is Autolusso, Bournemouth, for her MOT. But most of the work that's been done to her has been done by these hands and Mario's hands as well. So starting off on this side, she's got the factory fitted cloverleaf alloys. It's actually what attracted me to the car in the first place, to be honest. I was looking for a black line, but when you see the cloverleaf and you think about those wheels, they're Ferrari-esque wheels, and that attracted me to them, so I thought, yeah, cloverleaf will do. And to be fair, I've not looked back. I think the cloverleaf is a stunning spec of GT. If you are going to buy a GT, it's my recommendation. What drew me to the car initially was the styling. I come from a 159, and that's obviously a beautiful, beautiful car, and that was my first Alfa. But I always wanted a 2-door coupe, and for me, initially I did want a GT, but the missus wanted a 4-door car, and you know how it goes, you have to give in, as we do. But I won in the end. I played the long game, and I ended up getting the car, the Alfa I wanted, which was the GT. I just think they are an absolutely stunning car. I think they've aged beautifully. For me, it's the rear quarter here, just the way the line just swoops around it here. I just think it's gorgeous. Like I say, I've owned her 3 years, and every time I walk up to her, I just think, how lucky am I that I get to drive around in something that looks that good. It is the Cloverleaf Q2 edition, so it has the Q2 diff in it. That's not just a badge, I promise you. It is a Cloverleaf Q2, and it does have the diff from factory, which makes these things just grip phenomenally. I have driven a GT without one, and I've driven one with one, and I would take a Q2 diff all day, every day. When I first picked the car up, it did have the common lack of peel along the top of the rear bumper, but I got that done. They may have mentioned I am a detailer by trade, and I'd like to apologise, as I was up at 3 AM detailing the car and cleaning it, getting ready for today, but the drive up, unfortunately, it's been absolutely horrendous weather, so hence the dirt at the bottom. So don't judge me too harshly. I do apologise for that on behalf of detailers everywhere. Yeah, again, this has the factory fitted lower suspension, sports suspension they call it. So it's more the standard cloverleaf sits a bit higher. This one sits a bit lower, more like the V6 Busso does. It's got a similar setup, identical setup. Things I would like to do in the future would be to get the iBack front and rear anti-roll bars, as I've heard that they transform the car. I have driven a GT with that upgrade, and it is phenomenal. It does make it night and day. They just grip a bit better, but as an overall package, I think this is phenomenal. Yeah, coming over to the front, again, another thing that separates the Q2 cloverleaf from the normal is these badges here. They are factory fitted again. I haven't done that, I promise. They are factory fitted. The different colour, the contrast body colour, mirror and the handles, again, just a bit of design that I love. Coming around to the front end, I just love the face of this car. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's so pretty. The 159 I owned, that's a gorgeous car, but it's quite an aggressive look. But for me, the front end of the GT is phenomenal. It's just such a pretty car, and it just blends in effortlessly everywhere. So the engine, this is fitted with the 1.9 JTD 170 version. So it's got the upgraded injectors, 341 if you're interested in the code. It's got the bigger turbo from the normal 150, of course Q2 diff, and a couple of other differences, different ECU as well. So if you're thinking that you can change them, you can't. But this is a contentious issue for many Alfisti. Owning a diesel Alfa, especially a diesel Alfa Coupe, it's quite a contentious one. Some people think a diesel just doesn't belong in an Alfa Romeo, and fair play, you're entitled to your opinion. Personally, I do. I think they are a brilliant engine. They are bulletproof. Again, 209,000 miles. It's the factory engine. It's not been swapped. It's not been changed. That is the original engine for the car. Of course, you have to do maintenance to it, but again, I've replaced clutch, flywheel, slave, input shafts. It's serviced twice a year. It's had, gosh, it's had so much. It's had the ECU did go wrong on it, so I had to replace that. But again, all the intake pipes brand new. Cam belt, water pump, all the pulleys have been done. I'm kind of OCD when it comes to my cars, so I tend to replace things before they actually go wrong, which actually isn't actually the best idea. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do subscribe to that now, as I found that fitting parts nowadays can be quite tricky with Alfas, as the quality isn't always there. But as I say, it's a completely reliable engine that you won't have any issues as long as you get the swirl flaps done and get the EGR mapped out. That's my top tip for the JTD, because they just cause more issues than they're worth. But yeah, I average about 48 mpg combined and motorway, so a bit of combined driving, 48 mpg. On a long run, it will get 58 easily. I pass petrol stations for fun, which I quite like doing. Yes, it's a diesel Alfa, I get it, but I've driven a few GTs, and I would say that my pick of the bunch, if you're looking at an all-round package, is the JTD. Of course, if you're looking for like the top experience, it will be the Busso, but for me, the JTD is hands and away the best engine for the car. I think it suits it massively, and yeah, I would encourage everyone to go and drive one. They are impressive. So, the cockpit, or the interior of the GT, my favourite place to be, if I'm being completely honest. I actually look forward to drives in it more than any other car I've owned. Especially going away on holiday. This is my holiday, driving to the holiday. When I'm there, I just want to drive back, to be completely honest. The only thing I've done is rewrap the steering wheel. because it was a bit worn at the top, as they all do, but for the mileage it wasn't too bad really. So I've just retrimmed it. I think OEM plus is the word, but everything else is completely factory. The factory mats, they came with the car. The seats are not too worn. The bolsters are actually in pretty good condition considering 209,000 miles. It's used every day. It's a daily car. It's my only car. So in here, I spend a lot of time in here, and I have to say, short journeys, long journeys, it's absolutely perfect. As you can tell, I'm not the smallest of chaps, so it doesn't feel too small at all. It actually feels perfect, even for a bigger person. So I don't struggle with it at all. The seats are so comfortable. The back, there's actually loads of room in the back. I've had adults taller than me in the back on a 4-hour journey, and they've not complained once. Everything's just lovely. 6-speed box, which you get with the JTDs and the V6s. On the twin sparks and the JTSs, it is 5-speed. So on long motorways, you could just stick it in 6 and it's absolutely fine. It just effortlessly drives down the road. It has got the sport button from factory, and the factory sport button, that's how you can identify a 170 over a 150. So if you've got that magic button, it basically improves your throttle response. So you get a bit more go from the engine, which is nice. But yeah, for overall, the interior is a massive thumbs up from me.
Nathan, this is my first, and I'm smiling already. I've never sat in a GT, and do you know what? The first thing I have to say is done. How many miles again has this car done?
So I'm currently on 208,877.
I'm not even having to shout.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it. It's the most smoothest, calmest, tranquil ride I've had in a car for a long time. The seats are hugging me. Do you know what? I could sleep in here. I could live in here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's a lovely car and a credit to you. And also, I have to say, thank you for making the journey to see Dom and I today. I mean, you've been in the car 2.5 hours this morning, and I reckon it's the best 2.5 hours you're probably going to have all week.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
In a car like this. So let's talk about the GT Register first of all.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So the GT Registrar is, I'm the registrar of course. It's with the Alfa Romeo Owners Club. To be fair, when I first bought it, I was asked to do it because of my enthusiasm for the model. Because I'm forever posting on social media and on all the A-Rock pages and stuff, which people have made quite a few jokes about, but most of them have been good. You like seeing passion and enthusiasm, because that is what owning an Alfa is all about.
Absolutely.
So I was asked to take it over, and it basically involves just looking after all things GT in the club. So the members, everyone that's got a GT, wants to buy a GT, helping out with anything. If someone's going to look for a car, things to look out for, basically anything and everything GT is just part of helping out.
And I mean, we could sit here all day talking about all the different GT models, but do you know, I'm going to put you on the spot now, do you know how many GTs are left in the country? Give or take.
You have put me on the spot.
Okay, we won't don't answer that.
You have put me on the spot.
But okay,
not many.
Let's talk about this model. Now, we've spoken about this a lot off camera, but it's got a bit of poke, isn't it?
It's not bad.
I like that. The alloys.
Yes.
So I don't know anything about GTs apart from the way they look.
Yeah.
Have you pinched these alloys off a Ferrari 430?
No, unfortunately. They'll probably be worth a lot more if I did.
They look the same.
Yeah, they do look very similar. People say they're sort of Enzo-esque style alloys. They are clover leaves from factory. It's one of the things that attracted me to the car. It was between a black line or a clover leaf. I went clover leaf simply because of the alloys.
Yeah.
It just sold the car for me. A lot of people do think I've, stuck them on, or they're an aftermarket option, but no, they are genuine. It's just clover leaves are quite rare on the roads, so not many people see them.
So again, I'm going to put you on the spot again. How many clover leaves are left?
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot here. Not many.
not
It's
many.
out of all the GTs on the road, the Cloverleafs are probably, I would say, the model that, or the model you can say is the least of.
So did they do Cloverleaf what for 3 or 4 years or?
So Cloverleafs are from sort of end of life. So Cloverleafs sort of go from like the last 4 or 5 years of the GT production, if you like. This is a Cloverleaf Q2, so it's slightly different to a normal Cloverleaf, as it has the upgraded injectors, turbo, Q2 differential. It's got the lowered suspension from factory. What else has it got? Yeah, that's
So the Q2, so that's interesting, isn't it? Because we all see those online and people trying to sell them for 400, 500, 600 quid.
Yeah.
And this Q2 diff basically could go in my Buso, couldn't it?
It could.
Like my 916.
It could. You'd have to
Yeah.
fight me for it, but it could go.
To be honest, I don't even know. You tell me actually, because you're a mechanic as well before you become a detailer.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I've got obviously the 3 916s. One of them's the Buso.
Yeah.
I know it's got the upgraded clutch.
Yes.
Because I can tell, but I don't know because the previous owner didn't really know too much about it, whether it's got a Q2 diff or not.
Yes.
How can I tell?
So if you're just sitting from sort of like your bum in the seat,
Yeah.
you could usually tell by how fast you can actually exit a roundabout. That's usually a good indicator of how if you've got a Q2 or not. If you are a bit more mechanically minded and don't mind taking the drive shaft out, you can actually check, as you will see, because the Q2s you can see straight through the gearbox.
I see.
And if you haven't got a Q2, you'll see like a sort of like a kind of like a metal bar in the way, and that's how you know it's not a Q2.
I'll have to get you around, mate.
Yeah.
Get on the ramp and have a look. I don't think I have. Someone told me if you parked one wheel on the grass and one wheel on the road, then it wouldn't spin.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's another way of doing it. To be fair,
Yeah.
yeah. Or if it's really icy, you can sort of see which one's
I've
spinning.
definitely got the GTA clutch because it catches me out so often.
Yeah, is that that's the single mass flywheel?
You can tell, you really can. It just snaps when it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to this car. So I love this car, I really do. And I've said this many a time on our videos, and I'm going to say it again, it's so Italian.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, it's a lovely place to be in here. That steering wheel just says to me, Cuore Sportivo, which is obviously sporting heart, which is the DNA of Alfa Romeos. It's quite spacious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I've had
people in here. I think,
I've had grown adults in the back of this, and they've not complained.
It's a good old space in here, and there's some touches in here. I don't know why I didn't think about this. 6 gears, 6 speed, fantastic.
Yes.
It's got like Alfa GT Cloverleaf kind of. There's a sport button as well.
There is. Yeah, that's the fun button.
So again, not knowing too much about GTs, did the Black Line have a sport button?
So some did and some didn't.
Right.
It varies on information, as Alfa from the factory, or when they were registered in the UK, they weren't entirely specific on which models are which. So if you look on your sort of V5, you'll sort of see that they're kind of all under just Alfa GT.
Yeah.
And it'll be Black Line or Cloverleaf, but it won't actually tell you which one or which option.
How Italian, love it.
Yeah. It's kind of like you buy the car and you find out after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're following Dom at the moment, and as I say, we're on these country roads. It's behaving. It's a little bit firm, but hey, it's an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, it's a bit jittery.
But I can live with this.
Yeah.
I like that, and I think to myself, I'd want one of these. So let's talk about the specifics in terms of specs. So again, not knowing too much about GTs, what we're looking at PHP wise, what's this engine pumping at? Is it 150?
So normal 1.9 diesels do put out 150.
Yeah.
This is the 170 version.
Right,
So
of course.
pushes 170. Torque is about 30 or 40 Newton meters more than a 150. Due to the upgraded injectors, they can just take so much more. Remap possibilities are pretty much endless with these injectors. I have run this car, at around 210 brake. And it was a weapon, but it was a weapon that liked to eat drive shafts. So I just thought, when it comes to reliability, 170 is more than enough. It doesn't feel slow. I never sort of feel like I need more power. So I think it
just goes to show how great Alfa Romeo diesel engines are, because I don't feel like I'm in a diesel.
Yeah.
You can feel that power low down as well, and it's just civilised.
Yeah.
Civilised, but with a bit of a edge to it because it's an Alfa.
Yeah.
It feels sort of quite sporty as well, which clearly it is.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess general running costs pretty reasonable.
Pretty good. I'll be honest. I think out of all of the 4 engines that are in the GT, so the twin spark, the JTS, the V6 Busso, of course, and the diesel, when it comes to running a GT, the diesel is probably the one I would say is everyone should go for, because they're not expensive to maintain. Obviously, diesels, this will average 52 mpg, easy.
Blimey.
If you do mixed driving, you're looking at around between 38 and 42.
Do you know what? I've never seen that in any of my cars.
It is the one joy of, we lose the Busso soundtrack, but we gain the ability to drive past you when you're in the petrol stations. But
it's an interesting thing when you say Busso soundtrack, because I've lost that in mine by sticking the Wizard on it, and now I've got this D-Cat which makes it sound like a V8 Mustang, which I'm not particularly happy about. So if anyone listening wants to give me some advice about, I had to put a D-Cat pipe on it because one of the cats exploded. These are the 2 centre cats underneath the car, and I think I'm going to have to go for a Alfaholics D-Cat, which there is 1 cat on it plus it's MOT passable. But anyway, that's about my car. Let's talk about yours. So I was going to say something else about the what's the car tax? How much you paying annual tax?
For me, or the car tax for us, I believe it's sort of 250 a year.
Oh right, so it's a bit more than I thought.
Yeah, because it's just an old. I think it's. I don't know why. I don't really understand the ins and outs.
What year is it? Sorry,
2008.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why, but that's what I'm paying for it.
And also, it's a lovely red.
Yes.
And again, what's the red called on this car? Do you know?
This is Rosso Alpha.
Right. So I guess it's the same as Dom's GTV.
Yes, it is. As you know, of red Alphas, they tend to patina themselves over time, so that none of them actually look like Rosso Alpha. There's different shades of red. I often joke that this is 50 shades of red.
I was going to say, because the red on this car, okay, so Dom's car is 24 years old.
Yeah.
This is not as old, obviously. The red on this car looks like almost like a blood red.
Yeah.
It looks like a deeper red. I quite like it.
Yeah, it is a nice shade of red, I'll be honest. The Rosso, bigging myself up a little bit, I do polish it an awful lot. So I do like to make sure that my car is looking as good as it can possibly look.
You know what, I've seen this car on photos, I'm sure I've seen it at shows as well, and it does stand out, and we're so grateful that you've come along and to enjoy this few hours with us. And,
you're very welcome.
And you were saying earlier on off camera that, which again I'm learning all the time, that this is the underpinnings, the chassis if you like, is a
156
sport wagon, which I can't believe.
Yeah.
I would have felt like it was like a 147 with a different body on it, but it's not.
Yeah, so interior, as you can see, is probably more 147 than 156. In fact, it's identical. Apart from this little bit here with the
GT.
Yeah, because the 147 doesn't have that. But the actual chassis itself is from a state car. And when you think of the two concepts of a sport wagon and a coupe, it shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah, it's got a bit of grunt there, isn't it? Lovely, it's nice.
It never feels slow. It doesn't ever feel slow. Like I have, of course, on a private road.
Yeah, as you do.
Sort of, tested it against a Busso, and I've driven a Busso recently, thanks to my good friend Richard.
Yeah.
But I've compared the two, and of course the Busso is glorious, and it is the ultimate expression of a GT.
Yeah.
I won't even make any qualms about that. It just is the one to have.
Yeah.
But the difference in performance isn't as big as a gap as you might expect.
Do you know what? As a passenger, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It feels feels more responsive.
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah, it does, compared to the booster engine. I mean, that's the 3.2, isn't it?
Yes,
But it's, obviously mine's the 3 litre, but it does. I think the thing about that engine, whether it's the 3 or 3.2 or the 2.5, it's just how can I put it? It's a progressive. Clearly, it's not a turbo.
Yeah.
But it's just proper mechanical, and for me, in mine, it's like a runway car.
Yeah.
You know, you get into 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it just wants to take off.
I totally agree.
And I think, you know, again, I had a Fiat Coupe 20 valve turbo, which I'm still looking to get another one again, and they are very similar in terms of book speed, let's say, you know, top speed and 0 to 60, and they do it in a different way. But that we all know how great that engine is, and I think I picked this up on Dom's video on his 156. Me personally speaking, I feel like the best variant of that engine is a 2.5 V6 because it's slightly lighter, there's more balance to it, and it fits in lots of different cars really, really well. I think in the Spider, the 3 litre V6 is a bit too much. It probably works better in the GTV because you've got the roof, and I suspect it works perfectly in the GT. And I'd love to drive one, to be honest. I'd love to see.
I would say if you ever get the chance to drive the 3.2 in the GT, definitely go for it.
And we were saying earlier as well, weren't we? If you've got 5k and you want a good-looking GT with a 3 litre V6 engine in it, buy one of these.
100%.
You know? I mean, you can get a pretty tidy 916 now, GTV 3 litre V6 for 5k. You may have to pay a little. What you do, you pay a couple of grand more for a decent Spider because there's only about 70, 80 Spiders left in the country in that form. But probably this is the one to get, I would say. And they do the weighted exhaust for these as well, don't they?
They do, and they sound phenomenal.
They do, don't they?
All the Ragazon exhaust sounds epic.
The Ragazon as well. I had that on mine for the shortest period, but I just couldn't resist the Wizard. But I will say, with the Ragazon exhaust, I could hear the engine. The Wizard, I can't. And I do miss the engine, but hey, then again, I don't think I want to sell the Wizard. But you were going to say, sorry, I cut across you.
No, not at all. Can't remember what I was going to say.
Are you enjoying these country roads?
I am.
We're nearly there at our destination, and you'll have a chance to sort of drive it, you know, as well. And some of the route that Dom and I take.
I think the GT is well suited to all roads. You can be on the motorway for hours and hours, and it's a comfortable long distance cruiser, and then you get on the twisty stuff, and it's like it just transforms.
I've enjoyed it. I mean, like I say, I don't feel traumatised by it. You know? I do feel like we've had, you know, we've got the armrest as well, which I like. So I'm just discovering more as I'm looking around, looking at the car. The other thing I was going to say was, so I'm on the trailer forks. I'm just watching Dom pull away before we. We've got a safe junction here. I asked you as well earlier on, off camera. You know, you're a young lad. Why would you buy an Alfa Romeo? I'm Italian, so that's my excuse. You know. But why buy a car, or why buy into a brand that is notorious for, you know, oh, they rust, or they're going to cost you an arm and a leg, or you're going to have electrical problems, and you know, why? Why don't you go and buy an Audi or a BMW or a Ford Focus?
Well, I'm 30, so my driving life started at 17. As soon as I turned 17, in fact, I just made sure I passed my test. It was the only thing I wanted to do. Got into fast forwards, so I've done that. Old BMWs, anything pre-2005, and I do like them, you know, 39s and stuff. And then I just thought, you know what? I want to own something that I've always wanted to own. Forget about peer pressure, forget about what it may appear as, you know, just buy something that makes you happy. Because that's what I believe cars are about.
Absolutely.
So I thought, you know what, I've always admired Alfa Romeo since I was a kid, you know, growing up, and you know, watch Top Gear, and especially when, like, you used to watch when the 159 came out, the Brera, and they'd be in the studio, and, you know, it's always attached to Alfa. When Jeremy said, oh, you're not a true petrol head until you had one. And I always thought, oh, you know, is that just words, or is that actually a thing? So I thought, you know what, I like them, go for it. If it goes horribly wrong, then no harm, no foul.
Exactly.
I've learned from it. Picked up a 159, unseen, down in Devon. I lived in Liverpool at the time. Took overnight coach down there, And obviously on the way I'm researching everything Alfa 159. Never drove one before. The first time I drove an Alfa was mine. Drove it back the 5 or so hours home.
I was going to say a bit of a journey.
Yeah, and I was absolutely transformed. The first thing I noticed about it was the handling. I've never experienced a car that handles so well, and the 159 is not exactly a small car.
It's a bit of a beast, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
yeah, and coming from an E39 at the time, I was just sort of expecting, I'd accept the quality to be a bit shabby here and there, but as long as it looks good, which it does, and it looks good in the interior, I'm happy. But it vastly sort of like transforms what I thought cars were and what they could do. Because in the country lanes in Dorset and Devon, with that 159, I was just hooked. It was amazing.
So what 159? Which model was it then?
So I actually had the Quantum of Solace James Bond one. I was actually incredibly lucky to get that, as I later found out. Yes, it was a Quantum of Solace one, so I felt like a Bond villain every time I got in it.
You're definitely our 007 now.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, we're coming to the end of the video now. Thanks for watching. I hope you like what we've covered. Nathan's car, I say it again, with him being a detailer, it makes our cars look absolutely terrible, and every car that we look at today just looks like he needs to get his hands on them. The paint on this, I hope it comes on the video, it looks absolutely fabulous. Even though he said to us that, oh, the journey up this morning, it doesn't look that great, and oh, the detailers are going to be hammering me. Genuinely, looks absolutely fantastic. We'll put his details in the description if he's happy with that. We've got his Instagram handle on the side of the car as well. So if you do want to reach out to him and get your car detailed, get in touch with Nathan, he'll do you a smashing job. The inside of it is absolutely fantastic. If you like what we're doing on the Alfa showroom, please subscribe to the channel. The last time I looked at the stats, a massive, like 90% of the people that watch the channel aren't subscribed. It's really easy, just go and hit that button. If it's on your phone, a little black subscribe button. If you're watching on your TV or a device, just hit the button, because it does make a difference to us. We're over that 1,000 mark now, so we'd like to keep the momentum going. So thanks very much for watching, and there'll be something else coming along very soon.